5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ready.
Just relax and enjoy the ride.
In crowd, 815, in crowd, 815, in crowd, 815, in crowd, 815, 815.
Oh, good morning, Tom. Somewhere in the world, two people matched on a dating app, and both of them are using AI to write every single response to each other. That's got to be epic. I'm Greg. He's Tom. This is your In Crowd 815 podcast for the 17th day of January, the year 2026, the latest it has ever been, my friend. And he's about to say in the history of mankind before his screen completely froze up on me. So we've got a good show for you. And the person may be still sleeping next to you. Maybe give him a little nudge, say, hey, it's time to wake up and take a listen to what's going on around Rockford with our In Crowd 815 podcast, where we focus on Rockford area not-for-profits and the businesses that support them. We've got some great organizations, two new organizations to introduce you to this week, which, by the way, will bring our total number of Rockford area not-for-profits on the podcast to 106. 106, Tom. We're over halfway to our goal.
Wow, 106.
Dude,
that's pretty good.
I do need to get an updated number from Nickney and the Winnebago County to see how many registered not-for-profits there are. At last check, there was 197. It's known that there's like over 400 not-for-profits in the 815 area, but actual registered like 501c3 or 501c4 not-for-profits at last check, which I honestly was about a year ago that I last checked, it was 197. So we had made it our goal a couple of years ago to have all 197 on the podcast at least once to tell their story about what they do and why they do it. And lo and behold, look at us. We're up to over 100 now. So very, very fun and exciting stuff. Tom's screen keeps locking up. This is not going to be a fun technology morning, apparently. Maybe the snow and ice from yesterday was a little too much for Tom's internet connection. I don't know. What's going on at your house, Tom? You got
Oh, well, every week
there it goes again. No. Try a new connection, Tom. Try a new might need to try a new connection. All right, so we'll see what's going on with Tom. Let's take care of this before we get too far. We got our current race to 10 has Tom in the lead by a score of 8-5, and our big number of the week this week is 7.5 million. And look what I got for you today, friends. A great big special graphic. That's right. Is the answer Lassie or Lego? Our big number of the week. So what we ask you to do every week is in the comments, put Lassie or Lego. Which one of those two things do you think has to do with our big number of the week? I got two stories. Usually each one has something to do with a big number. But the one that caught my attention the most, was it the one about Lassie or was it the one about Lego? Go ahead, put your guess in the comments. And if you are watching us today on Rumble, YouTube, or Facebook, we should be able to see your comments on our screen, at least during the show. If you're on one of the other platforms, we might not see those. Like if you're in our In Crowd 815 networking group page, that's one of the pages, because it's a group page, we can't see comments on there usually. If you're on LinkedIn, that may or may not work. So I know sometimes we get to see the comments on LinkedIn, sometimes we don't. So Restream's making all these cool upgrades and updates, and sometimes it is a wonderful thing and we're happy about. Other times it's a confusing thing and we wonder what in the world's going on. So 7.5 million, our big number of the week this week. All right.
Okay. So my computer issue done. I had every week, here's what I do. I put this on hotspot and I run my computer off of that because there's a lot of internet usage going on in the house. All right. I get it this morning. I pull it down, I hit hotspot, and apparently my regular internet overrode that. Then we come on the air and I had to look and it wasn't on. My hotspot wasn't on. So I went to do it and that's what the confusion was. Sorry about that. I do it every week because I've learned with this particular computer, I need to have the hotspot. I don't know why. It just works better that way. So we are back.
Well, Verizon had a big outage this week too. So, but you're not, I don't remember. Are you a Verizon customer?
No, I have Pure Talk, which I believe operates on the AT&T network.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Now that you mention it, I think it's the AT&T network. So.
Yeah. I have no problem with Pure Talk. It seems to work pretty well. But anyway, I had such a great response to your thing too. The two people meet, and she says, "Hi, I'm Amy Ingram," and he says, "Well, I'm Alex Ignacio or whatever." I had it in my head,
Everything AI. If you're using AI to respond for you in personal relationships, you might have to get some counseling. I'm just throwing that out there.
And by the way, their first date was at Andy and Ingrid's restaurant. So
Tom. All right. I think we should bring on our first guest. What do you say?
Sure, why not?
Our first guest is I don't know what her actual title is with Children's Theater Project and the Youth Theater Project of Rockford. All I know is I've got this brochure that has been sitting on my desk since seeing Annette and Amy at the Coronado Theater for their events. Was it back in November? I can't remember exactly when it was, but Annette joins us now live from the road. Good morning, Annette.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Very well. Very well. Now are you driving or are you a passenger?
I am a passenger. I am not driving.
Oh, good. All right. Now we can really bug Annette because we know that she's safely in a passenger seat and not driving her car to, you're on your way to a rehearsal?
On my way to rehearsal, yes.
Okay.
And apparently you're in England.
Yeah.
You're on the wrong side of the car.
Yeah.
It's a mirror thing. That's all.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny, actually.
Well, before we get into all things CTP, let's learn a little bit about Annette. Are you a lifelong Rockfordian? Where'd you grow up?
I am not. Actually, I grew up in Chicago. So born and raised in Chicago, moved out after high school, slowly sort of moved west, was in Rockford for quite a few years, and now I'm in Durand.
Okay. So where'd you go to high school?
Lakeview High School on Ashland and Irving Park right in the heart of Chicago.
Okay. So I went to Lakeview Elementary School. That's a kid in southeastern Wisconsin. Our mascot was the Dragons. We were the Lakeview Dragons, live by the sea, work away all through the day in pleasant company. What was your Lakeview mascot?
Wildcats.
Okay. Kind of hard to make
fun
of.
Who wins between a wildcat and a dragon?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the dragon.
I think my money's on
cats don't like fire.
Yeah.
I
think if you have a fire-breathing dragon, and not all dragons are fire-breathing, from my understanding, you probably got a good chance. So you kind of made your way west toward Rockford. What brought you to our lovely 815 area? What was the motivation?
Really just to get out of the city.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, just kept moving west.
Okay.
Finally settled here about 25 years ago.
Okay. And that's a response I hear all the time as a realtor, is people are like, I'm done with the high taxes. I'm done with the congestion. I just want to live somewhere where, it's a little less expensive and maybe more friendly. And now you're out in Durand. So is the organization itself based now in Durand, or how is that working?
No, we're still in Rockford, right downtown Rockford at the Nordloff Theater on Main Street. So we've been there for well over 20 years. We're going on with 23 years.
Okay. And for those who have never been familiar with the Children's Theater Project, and people ask you about it, kind of what is your elevator speech about your little pitch about why should someone support the Children's Theater Project, and what does it do?
So we are theater for all is really our motto. And so any child who wants to, take that chance, be on the stage, try something new, we're going to cast you. So we never turn anybody away. We don't do callbacks, those sorts of things. So we want to give every child an opportunity really to try theater, to shine on the stage. And actually we'll double or even triple cast a show to make sure everybody has a part.
That's cool. That can be a little bit challenging, isn't it, with the logistics to get
Yes.
everyone on stage?
Yes. Ask our costume parents. They'll tell you how hard that is when we have double or triple casts and they have to have, 3 different costumes for the same character.
Right, right. Can you please try to cast the same size child
So,
in each
yeah.
role? Would you at least try to
Yeah.
do that for us? Is that even possible? I mean, that's a challenge.
It is a challenge. There's a lot of logistics that go into it. We are, all volunteer. So really the only staff that gets quote unquote paid is just a stipend for our directors. So that's it. Everything else is run by volunteers. So we're always open for volunteers. If you have nothing to do on a Saturday, come on out.
That's definitely one of our questions every week when we talk to new organizations that we haven't had on before. Is there a place for volunteers, and what kind of things can volunteers do for you? What are you looking for in a volunteer right now?
Yeah, really anything that they're willing to do. So even going around town and putting up posters or photography. So if somebody really wants to do photography, come in, take pictures of rehearsals, shows, things like that, set building, costumes, props. There's literally like just so many different things that we need. Our parents are great at volunteering as well. So our the parents of all of our kids, they want to get involved. We're always looking for anybody who, especially college kids who maybe they need to get that volunteer work, high schoolers. Absolutely, we're always looking for help.
Okay. The shows you've done over the years, I mean, it's all so many awesome shows. Charlotte's Web, and you just did Wizard of Oz in the winter. Was it
And we
December?
did, we did Wizard of Oz for the little kids, and then for our older kids, to the YTP, the Youth Theater Project. We did the play That Goes Wrong.
There's a young version of that play.
It is a high school version,
Okay.
and really it's not much different than the Broadway version. There's some language that's been taken out, but otherwise it is the same show.
And have you found that to be much of a challenge for some of the shows that are more seen as adult shows to make them kid friendly?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
It really depends on the show. And so it's really hard for us to choose as well, because there are so many shows out there and so many really great shows, but is it appropriate, right? For high school aged, students. Right now we're doing Almost Maine, which is actually very appropriate for, for high school, especially, in this day and age. It's a great show. We're doing that one. And then of course, for our little kids right now, we are doing Matilda Jr., the musical. So we've got 2 shows coming up in April. So obviously, check out the website. Yeah, thank you. I see you're pulling up the website there.
Almost Maine and Matilda. I can honestly say I don't think I've seen either one of those shows.
Well, if you've got nothing to do in April, come out and we'll get you a seat.
Got to get out and see. Can you give me a quick little synopsis about Almost Maine? I'm totally out in the dark on that one.
Yeah, so Almost Maine is really 9 different vignettes, all taking place in a location called Almost Maine. It's really about human connection. It's about love. It's about love lost. It's about really just being human. So it's a great show. Like I said, 9 different vignettes of different sort of relationships in different areas of the town of Almost Maine.
Okay.
Without giving too much away.
So you've already done auditions for the show. You've already cast the show.
Yes.
And now you're having, it says, rehearsals Saturdays 9 to noon. So kids are getting ready for rehearsal right now and heading over to Nordloff. Is that right?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. So as far as we already talked about volunteers, is it there are opportunities to make donations to the organization to help cover costs of props and costumes and event spaces and stuff like that?
Absolutely. We're always open to donations, so cash or otherwise. A lot of times we'll take in costume pieces or props or furniture, things like that. So a lot of times we'll put out on our Facebook, our needs if we don't currently have that in our scene shop. Also building materials. We can always use building materials for our sets. Things like that. So yes, absolutely. Just send us an email, send us a message on Facebook. We'll definitely take anything you're willing to give.
Yeah. With every new show, there's a need for a different prop. There's a need for something to be built, right? Pretty much every show.
Every show. Yeah. And our set crew is amazing. And actually, they have to build two completely different shows at the same time.
I've done Starlight Theater now at Rock Valley College since 2018. And every year it still never ceases to amaze me what the crew builds for the sets and the props they come up with. And obviously the costume shop is just absolutely amazing. So the talent that we have in the 815, it's something special.
It is.
It's really cool. So, well, is there anything else about is it two separate organizations or one umbrella organization for CTP and YTP?
It's all the same organization. It's really just breaking it up, especially our shows, by age group.
Okay.
Musicals, we always do musicals for the younger group because number one, it gets more kids on the stage, right? And especially for our littles. And when I say littles, we're talking kindergarten, first grade, second grade, right? They're not necessarily, maybe all that great at reading and memorizing lines, but they're really good at music and dance. And so getting them out on the stage. So we only do musicals for our younger kids. So the CTP part. The YTP, we found probably about 8 years ago, there was a big gap in theater here in the Rockford area in that there were only musicals available for that age group. And we found that there are a lot of kids that, maybe they're just not comfortable singing and dancing, or obviously, right, maybe that's just not their talent, but they are fantastic actors. So we started doing plays so that those students could come out and really shine on the stage. Maybe, they've never had a lead role before, but now they're getting those roles because it's not based on singing and it's not based on dance moves. It really is about acting. And we try to teach kids too when they're here, stage presence, how to project, right? So we're also a teaching organization to make sure that obviously when they get to junior high and high school, they're going to be confident enough to audition for their school shows. That's sort of like our goal, is really to build that confidence and literacy within the youth in our community.
It's a special to become part of a community and be a part of a team that's all pulling in the same direction. Here's the show, here's the script, here's the director's vision for what we want to do with this. And now, what do you bring? Here's the meal. Here's the food that goes into the meal. What spices are you bringing to this meal to make it really something special, right?
Yep.
That's kind of how I like to look at theater, I guess you could say. So, so if someone wanted to sign up for CTP, there's a registration page just for the Children's Theater Projects, kindergarten through 6th grade. And then the YTP page for 7th grade through 12th grade. Is it, do you call it aging out when someone graduates from high school? Is that kind of how it works?
Yeah, you do age out once you're a senior and you're moving on to college. But honestly, we still have students that used to, perform with us. They come back and they help. They do choreography. They're doing music. As a matter of fact, we have a student who was very active when she was younger, is a music major. She is in her senior year of college, and she is our music director for Matilda. So we want to give opportunities back to those students who really grew up in our program to come back and really do what they love.
That's awesome. That's awesome. ctpytp.org. If you're looking for the website, again, we got it in the chat for you. Easy to just click on it, go right to the page and learn more about Children's Theater Project and Youth Theater Project. Is there anything, Annette, that we did not ask you about this morning that you wanted to make sure we talk about before we move on to our trivia transition with Tom?
No, I just want to say thank you, obviously, for showcasing us on the podcast this morning. I'm still amazed at how many people have never heard of us, but we've been part of this community for almost 25 years. So yeah, come watch a show, right? Come out and really just, support youth theater.
Wizard of Oz and the play that goes wrong was what you just did, right?
Yep.
So next up, Almost Maine and Matilda the music, which Matilda's pretty funny, if I remember correctly.
It is, yes.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a good comedy, check out Matilda. And Almost Maine with the nine different vignettes, you were saying?
Mm-hmm.
That should be a lot of fun. And it's all at the Nordloff.
All at the Nordloff.
All downtown. We've basically created a theater district downtown almost, haven't we? With the Coronado, the Nordloff.
Yep.
Yes, so awesome. Good deal. All right. Well, we're going to go and transition into our next guests, but you stay on the screen, Annette, because you're going to help us with our trivia this morning. We need this first, though. Here we go.
It's time for Tom's Trivia Challenge on the In Crowd 815 podcast. Good luck.
All right, Tom, let's put you center square here and get Elliot and Nick on the screens. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi, guys.
Morning.
Thans for
Good
joining
morning.
us
Good morning.
today. We're going to talk about Rockford Barbell after Tom's Trivia Challenge and 7 questions that hopefully the 5 of us can get 6 or 7 of them right. I want 4 at least. I'll feel good about 4. Anything less than 4, I might just dump on the whole show. I don't know. We'll see. What do you got?
Right. These aren't that difficult. As I tell everybody, trivia is about fun, entertainment, information, whatever, mostly to have fun. And nobody's winning any big prizes here. So these are particularly easy sometimes, and some of them are a little bit hard. I don't want anybody walking away going, God, I suck. I'm horrible at trivia. No, I want you guys to feel like you know trivia. We all know trivia. We all know the simplest of questions. And sometimes when the lights are on and the heat is on, you can't come up with it. So maybe we'll change that here. All right, here we go. What were you going to say, Greg?
Here's hoping. Here's hoping.
Oh, here's hoping. Yes. All right, here you go. Question number 1. In the book, The Hobbit, the creatures that have come to be known as orcs were not called orcs in the book. Instead, they were referred to as what? Were they goblins or gremlins?
I am totally unfamiliar. I'm out of the loop on this one.
It's been a while since The Hobbit.
Yeah. My daughter wanted me to watch it with her, and I finally said, sure, I'll watch it with you. And I fell asleep in 10 minutes. She was so mad at me.
It's such a long movie. They're all so long.
Well, once again, in the book, The Hobbit, the creatures that we have come to know as orcs were not called orcs in the book. Instead, they were referred to as what? Goblins or gremlins?
Anyone got a feeling on this one? I'm totally out.
I'm leaning.
I'm gonna guess goblins.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Yes,
goblins.
goblins. I'm stopping you right there because you got it.
All right. 1 down.
I just threw Gremlins in there. I figured you'd think, well, no, Gremlins was a movie, a different movie altogether.
Movie, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Here's a football question. All right. You have to think about this one. Who was the very first head coach to win 3 Super Bowls? Was it Chuck Noll or Vince Lombardi?
Well, it wasn't Vince Lombardi because they didn't call him Super Bowls until 1 and 2, and then he retired after 2. So it had to be Chuck Noll.
Everybody in agreement?
I'm going to go with Greg.
Yeah, very good,
yeah.
Greg.
Funny thing is, you're exactly right. It's Chuck Noll. He won 4 in like 6 years. 70,
6 years.
74, 74, 75, and then 78 and 79, I think is when it was. But anyway, the Green Bay Packers did win 3 championships in a row. They've done it twice.
They did.
Twice. They did it in 66, 67, and 68. 67 and 68 were the Super Bowls. So very good. Very good.
right.
All right. Here's an easy one. Colors. Cerulean is a shade of which color? Is it blue or is it red?
Oh, Nick's our artist here.
I was art major. I think it's blue.
Blue.
I think you're right.
Okay, I'm glad you were here because I would have said red. I would have said red.
Nicely done, Greg. Your goal of getting 4 out of 7 is pretty close here because you got 4 left. All you got to do is get 1.
One more.
I think you're going to be okay. In regard to writing styles for academic papers, what does APA stand for? It is used by professionals in education, psychology, and science fields.
Isn't that American Psychological Association, isn't it?
You guys are pretty good. Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Way to go.
American Psychological Association.
Okay.
We are just moving right along. Is that 4-0, Greg? You got you can quit now.
I'm impressed. I mean, hello. That's good. That's good. All right.
Well, that's what happens when you book smart people on the show. Right?
Go team.
And I got to say, when I'm reading these, I'm thinking, ooh, these are some tough ones, actually. A little bit. All right. In 1902, The Tales of Peter Rabbit was first published. Who wrote it?
Who wrote Peter Rabbit? We noticed this one is not multiple choice.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The first 3 are usually multiple guess, but
was it
Peter Rabbit?
Was it a Stein or a Steen or something like that?
No.
No, I'm not onto something. Okay.
Oh, were you thinking Gertrude Stein or something?
I don't know. McCormick?
I don't think I have a guess here, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, I have no idea who wrote that.
All right, I'm going to give you a hint, but it won't count, but it'll help you get the answer. But it won't count on the score. The initials are BP.
Beatrice. Beatrice Potter. Beatrice Pitts.
Beatrice Potter.
Beatrice Potter.
Yeah.
See, I knew you knew that. All right, so 4-1.
I was Mr. McGregor the farmer in my elementary school play. I was that guy. Shame on me.
All right.
4 out of 5. 4 out of 5.
All right, here we go. What was Facebook originally known as? Face what?
It wasn't Facebook. It was.
I'm going to give you 2 options.
I mean,
was it Face Hang or Face Mash?
Space Smash, if that's what they reference in the, I guess, movie.
You saw the movie?
Face Mash.
Yeah, Social Network movie?
Yeah.
If that's accurate.
That is correct. That is correct.
All right.
Go.
Yeah, I totally said something different. That's for sure.
Well, that's it. We got one more.
One more. All
right. This is for all the marbles. Well, for some of the marbles.
Hey.
About 88% of the marbles. This is a Rockford trivia question, which excludes some of you because you weren't here at that time. Of course, none of us were born at that time. What year did the Rockford Speedway open up for business? Was it 1948, 1952, or 1956?
I got to do some math because they celebrated a 75th anniversary before they closed.
Yes, they did.
They did. So, if I do the math,
That'd be 52.
If I do the math correctly, it should have been 1940.
48.
40 in the 40s. Yeah, 48, 46.
Okay.
What did you say?
48.
It was 48, 52,
48.
or 56.
It'd have to be 48 then.
Very good. Yes. 48.
They did.
You guys went 6-1 on a quiz that might have actually been a little tougher than it should have been, maybe. Nicely done.
Good job.
Nicely done.
Well, Annette, thanks for joining us on your drive, and commend your driver for taking such good care of you and getting you to rehearsal on time. And we look forward to hopefully getting out and seeing some of your.
Oh, I think he's frozen in time.
Yep.
It's funny because it's usually me when we very first started the show. I don't know if you guys were on it or whatever. I'm like, I've just started to answer the question, and all of a sudden it went oops with the yellow bar. So anyway, all right. Well, I don't know what to do here other than just to ramble on. I never got a chance, Annette. We never got a chance to ask you what your favorite football team was, or is.
Oh, of course, the Bears.
Of course, the Bears. You know what? The other day, I do trivia 3 nights a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And for all my Bear fan friends, now you're back. Let me finish the story real quick, Greg.
Go for it.
For all my Bear fan, and Greg was there on Wednesday, so he can attest. Or were you there on time? You may not have been. I don't know. Anyway, I played Bear Down Chicago Bears as a show of, what's the word? I don't know.
Camaraderie,
as a show of decency. And I said, congratulations, Bear fans. I wish you luck on Sunday, but not too much luck. Can't go all in on it. Come on now. Anyway.
Well, Matilda Jr. is coming up April 24th and 25th at the Nordloff, and Almost Maine April 10th and 11th. Check out ctpytp.org to get your tickets and enjoy some great shows downtown Rockford with some of our incredible, talented youth. Thanks for jumping on with us today, Annette. You have a great rest of your weekend.
Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Great job today.
Bye-bye.
Let's bring on Rockford Barbell now. All things Rockford Barbell, and to kick things off, let's start with you, Nick. What do you say? We'll start with Nick and ask you about you. Where did Nick grow up and spend your childhood? Where'd you grow up?
Born and raised right here in Rockford. Attended Rockford Lutheran schools. Went away to Iowa for 4 years of college and came right back. So been around for a long time.
So you were a Lutheran Crusader, and then what college?
I went to University of Iowa.
Hawkeyes.
Yeah, go Hawks.
I tell you what, I can't give any crap to Hawkeyes. I'm a fan of Hawkeyes. I think there's something special about the Iowa Hawkeyes. So I don't know.
I like the Hawkeyes. They always
can't. Go ahead.
They always get the prime TV coverage for football. So
even though they've got a great football program, and you can't not like the Iowa Hawkeyes. You just can't. There's nothing to hate about Iowa Hawkeyes.
That's what I'm saying.
Good defense, we love it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They might not score a lot of points, but they're tough.
Kirk Ferentz did such a great job. He's still their coach, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. I'm a big Caitlin Clark fan. I have her jersey. I have a Clark jersey. And I mean she put Iowa basketball on the map. Iowa women's basketball. Yeah. And I mean just one of the greatest of all time. But anyway, so
what brought you? So you come back to Rockford to stay, and then besides working with Rockford Barbell, what do you do here in town?
Yeah, so I studied psychology and art at Iowa. Came back. I've been a social worker for the last 13 years. So I've worked various roles in social work. Worked mostly with kids in kind of school systems. I did truancy right out of college with RPS. Worked in the Harlem district as a school social worker, worked in the Belvedere school district, doing some more clinical work. But just been all around, just doing various social work jobs throughout the area.
Okay. So you are well acquainted with the need for mental health services, not just in the 815, but probably all over the country. It's been really something in the last decade to see that need come up the way it has. Do you Do you have a theory or a clinical thing to talk about why you think there's more need for mental health services in the last decade?
I mean, I think there's always been a need, I think things have, I think COVID, is one thing where, especially with our kids, of just like socializing and movement, those are two things that we're all about, is like, how do we connect with other people? And yeah, just opportunities to do that, I think has been a struggle for people in general, especially for kids. So yeah, socializing is kind of down. And yeah, we need to help kids connect with one another.
Stuff like theater and stuff like lifting, stuff that we're talking about today. So that's awesome. So Elliot, how about you? Are you a lifelong Rockfordian, or where did you come from someone else?
I came from somewhere else. I grew up, born in Chicago, but grew up in Naperville.
Okay.
So grew up in Naperville all my life. Went to Naperville High School. Went to Illinois State University after high school to study teaching, and got a job out of college here in Rockford.
Okay.
Choosing between Rockford and I think it was Mattoon, and I chose Rockford, a little closer to home, and have been in Rockford ever since. Now, also 13 years. Met my wife here, raising kids here now, so here to stay, but not from here originally.
Awesome. Naperville High School. What was the mascot?
Naperville North Huskies. North
Okay.
Huskies. Yep.
All right.
One time in college, I played a little baseball in college, and I lost my practice jersey. I had to sing our high school fight song in front of the team to get it back, or to get another one. But yeah, Huskies.
That's fair, right? That's fair. That's the
I thought it was good. Nice move.
I'm guessing a couple of the teammates conspired to grab it. We're going to make them sing to get it back. They'll act like you lost it.
They did take my cleats on a road trip and hid them from me to prank me. I showed up to a game. I was like, I don't have my cleats. But maybe they did that too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, so when people ask you guys about Rockford Barbell, what, I've never heard of this before, not a clue what you do. What do you tell people about Rockford Barbell?
Well, I can say we start with our mission. We make it clear, people see Rockford Barbell, they see kind of these weights on here. Our mission is to improve kids' social and emotional skills.
Okay.
And we do that using movement and how we define trauma-informed practices. So we're working on kids' mental health using movement. And one of the foundations of trauma-informed practices is connection and relationships with other people. So yes, we do have a weightlifting program. It's kind of like our bread and butter of a program we offer. We also offer a yoga program. So we're telling people that getting involved in Rockford Barbell is a way to get your kids involved with other people, building positive connections with people, and staying active and connecting with your bodies.
And like Nick was saying, I mean, that's what our society, I think, as a whole is just lacking right now. Is we're doing these desk jobs. We're sitting, in sterile rooms. We're not getting much sunshine. We're not getting much activity. It's got to affect our mental health, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. Nick and I, Nick mentioned his background of social work. I was a school teacher. I taught special ed here in the Rockford Public Schools for 11 years. So we really blended those years of experience, seeing the need for kids' mental health, and how it impacts relationships, how it impacts behaviors, how it impacts their ability to engage in even learning, and wanting to provide an additional opportunity to work on those skills. And that's particularly beneficial for youth. Adults, as we grow, most of us, we're able to do more traditional methods of, let's say talk therapy. And for kids who are still learning their bodies and learning what are these sensations, in my bodies, what does it mean, these feelings, in terms of anxiety or depression or just frustrations, anger, sadness. it hasn't impacted us, and giving kids an alternative way to work on those things, work on those feelings, is what we're all about.
Yeah, I often attribute my obviously blessed with decent health, with decent genes and that sort of thing. I got a good, pretty healthy parents, but lifting as a teenager did something for my physique that I would not have had otherwise. You know, it helped me overcome some stuff that you know, just the challenge of lifting a little bit more, the workout of it all, to get the muscles going and to train them into doing things that they maybe didn't want to do at first, you know, and pushing it a little bit farther. There is, hey, do you see, if there like an age where it makes sense to start doing stuff like that? Is there an age that's too young to start doing stuff like that? What is your thoughts on lifting and muscle type workouts for youth?
So, yeah, I mean, movement is obviously good at any age. Things like our program started at 10 years old. So both of our yoga and our weightlifting started at 10. But movement's important from birth. You know, we talk about this, any movement that promotes, you know, rhythm, repetition, right? We experience that in the womb. But then, you know, doing these things, it keeps us regulated emotionally. So, you know, for younger kids, it may be a different practice. But then, you know, we think we have, lots of kids that start at 10 years old and are able to do this kind of through their middle school years and beyond.
Okay. So if somebody wants to get involved with your programs, is it a pretty expensive thing to do? Is it something that parents need to sign up the kids? How does it work to actually sign up and become involved with Rockford Barbell?
Yeah, it's very accessible. I'll start off. These are free programs. We're funded in large part by the Winnebago County Community Mental Health Board and our half-cent sales tax here in Winnebago County that has to go towards mental health programs. That money, we're an organization that gets some of those funding to be able to provide free mental health programs for kids. So it does not cost anything. We run our programs in 6-week sessions where there's like a clear beginning, a clear end. Kids come 2 to 3 days a week, depending on the program during those 6 weeks. And then we take a break for a registration period. So yes, parents do register kids. We do an orientation with our new families to help them understand, you know, our mission and what to expect when participating. And then there's, you know, obviously some intake information to get background information to really know how can we help your child, not just in our program. Maybe it's at school, maybe it's with relationships, and we give some information to meet the needs of each child. And then we work with them for 6 weeks, and then kids can continue this cycle. We've been doing this work for 6 years now. We have some kids that have been with us for just about that long now, which is really, really cool to see them over the years. We also have a number of kids that will be with us for a little bit, then they'll be ready kind of emotionally and relationally to do other things, you know, whether it's take feedback from a coach at a middle school program, or maybe they're ready to try to do that school play, and then they can come back to us. So kids can continue with us as long as they like, working in that age group of 10 to 18.
Okay. All right. Look, we're looking at your website. Thank you to your sponsors. Obviously, you mentioned the Winnebago County Community Health Board and what they do for you guys. And thanks to these other sponsors that are listed on the screen here. If somebody wanted to donate to the cause and help you guys do what you do, there's a page on there for that. What have you found here recently that you've been seeking donations for? Is there equipment needs? Is there facility needs? What are the biggest needs right now on Rockford Barbell's list?
Yes, and yes. We're very upfront. You know, the greatest need, this funding continues to help provide this free service. We don't want a parent in need for their child to have that make that decision of, yes, I want these services, or I need to get my tire fixed, or whatever it may be. So it helps provide free programming for our kids. We're also expanding into school-based programs, you know, getting rid of that barrier of transportation that a lot of our families face. of having to get to our facility after school. So funding is helping us expand that service in terms of staffing and getting people to do those services, and expanding into school-based services in more schools adds costs as well. Adds costs for, like I said, for staffing, for equipment, oversight to be able to, make sure things are aligned in terms of curriculums and data collection and program development. So funding helps with all of those things as we expand. We have lists of things that we want to get into in terms of maybe increasing or changing our age, not changing, but adding to our age group, working with young adults, or maybe working with younger kids, or having parent programming. There's a lot of ways that we can use this model and expand it as support grows here from our community.
Okay.
How young is too young as far as kids getting involved? You may have said that and I may have missed it.
Yeah, we start at 10, but like Elliot said, like we'd love to offer some kind of different programming. We're able to do 10 through 18 as a whole group right now. We have high school kids working with high school kids and middle school working with middle school, but they're in the same room. I think if we were to do younger programming, it would have to be a kind of a separate offering, similar to our previous guests. They have a younger kid program and then kind of an older kid program. But yeah, 10 years old is where we start.
Shout out to your staff this morning, Mary and Liam, Monquetta.
Yeah.
Monquetta, Austin and Stacy. Are they all there weekdays? What is kind of a staff involvement with your programs?
Yeah. So these are part-time staff. They all have a number of experience working in schools or mental health. So these are highly experienced staff that balance jobs. I mean, RPS, Belvedere School District, mental health professionals. So yeah, they're taking on this extra kind of work in the afternoons and help us out with some of that after school programming.
Cool. I know there's two other things I wanted to ask you about. One was with the lifting aspect of what the youth are doing. Are there competitions? Are there meets? Are there anything like that these kids get involved with or can get if they choose to?
Yep, there are. We do take kids and show them that side of things as well. We're a sanctioned USA weightlifting club, that governing body. So we take kids to one or two meets a year. We host a meet. We just had a meet actually last weekend. We had 3-time Olympian. His name is Kendrick Ferris come join us and being part of the weekend. So that is a side of things. And weightlifting, the type of lifting that we do Olympic style weightlifting. And the discussion and the framework that we give our kids around it is that this is a way to challenge yourself and to really develop self-awareness of not only how am I moving, but am I challenging myself on a kind of daily basis? How well can I really be mindful of, am I fully present in this moment? But yes, kids have that opportunity as well.
Cool. And then the other question I know I wanted to ask you guys about is you have, I think it's right next door. Isn't there a boxing group next to you guys? Is there some collaboration with the what's it called? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Rockford Boxing. They're right around the corner. They also run kids programs, but we're not like involved, directly with each other.
Okay.
But lots of kids, lots of opportunities, in our neighborhood right there.
And I would say not yet. We've been there for just about a year. We're familiar with Patriots Gateway and some of their staff. That's something where we would love the community, as support financially increases, finding ways to do things like that, that fits both of us. And it just increases the impact of what we're doing for kids in the community. We want them to have different options. One of our programs might be not a great fit for someone, and being able to say, hey, this is another program that is going to help develop your child as well, and vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I drove up and down Kishwaukee Street a lot because I lived in New Milford for so long before moving back into town here. And so I'd see these kids running around the buildings, and I'm like, are they with the boxing guys or the barbell? I don't know what are they running around. I think they're with the boxing.
They're all of our kids, right? They're our Rockford kids.
Yeah,
they maybe
running
come
around
and
the
go.
buildings, doing their laps, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this is awesome. This is great. So I was kind of curious if that was you guys or the boxing. I assumed it was the boxing kids that were running around the buildings.
It is, yeah, it is. But maybe one day we'll get our kids out there too.
Okay, all right. Well, unless Tom has something else on his brain, is there anything we did not ask you about today that you wanted to make sure we talked about before we let you go about your weekend?
I will say, so in addition to our services, our regular after school programming, I'm a licensed clinical social worker. So we are able to provide some additional services in the form of, your more traditional counseling. So, kids that are involved in our programs can receive counseling through myself. I do some family counseling, some school-based counseling, individual counseling with kids in our programs. So yeah, that's just like another option, something else that we offer in addition to our movement-based classes.
Okay. All right.
And if I could add, for people, in addition to financial support, one of the greatest things, I mean, that's great. And one of the greatest things in addition to that people can do is help spread the word about what we do. Not just for someone else to give us money, but there always is a nephew, my friend's kid, someone in need or could benefit from what we're doing. So help us spread the word, spread our content, subscribe to our website. All those things just help increase, our ability to serve kids here in the community.
And the overall cost for a kid to sign up for your program basically is
Nothing.
So yeah, if you're needing to get your kids involved in something, here's an option. And we looked at two great options today, theater and Rockford Barbell. This is great. So hopefully our youth are not just sitting at home all day, playing on their screens, doing something with their bodies and their minds, and getting out there and socializing a little bit. It's going to positively affect the overall health of our whole community. So appreciate what you guys are doing very, very much admire what you're doing. So thank you for jumping on with us today. We wish you guys all the best, and we'll keep up with you and promote your events on our socials too, to make sure that the word is getting out there about you. All right.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Tom.
Elliot,
Great job on trivia today.
You got it. Bye-bye. Our big number of the week this week is 7.5 million. And this week, the answer is it Lassie or Lego? I really like our special graphic today. Isn't that wonderful? You sent me your guess, but I got to remember what it was. So I'm going to bring back up my okay, there you go. So I need to update the score and talk about we all remember Lassie. Lassie saved the kid from the well, all the things that Lassie could do without being able to talk. The super intelligent collie Lassie saved kids in trouble. The fictional concept, though, of communicating with dogs is closer to reality than we think, Tom. This is kind of amazing. There's a pet tech startup called Tracey, Traini. Tracey is the name of this startup. And they have a smart collar, costs $700 to buy a smart collar. And they say it helps translating dogs' emotions into human language. It tracks signals like barks and heart rate, and it uses AI models that are trained on behavioral data and insights from over 2 million dogs, hundreds of peer-reviewed studies, comparing these signals to recordings of humans expressing similar emotions. And they're saying they're above 90% accuracy. This companion app that translates these signals, from signals that say like, I'm anxious or I want to play, they think they're up to about 94% accuracy on this. And they actually recently did a funding round in December to to try to raise more funds to continue their pet tech startup Tracey, and they raised $7.5 million. Tom is way now. I'm going to need a come back. There's a nonprofit group called Earth Species Project. They made a large audio language model for bioacoustics. They are making headway on dictionaries for animal sounds. That kind of blows the mind. China has a big search engine called Baidu, Baidu. They have a patent for a system that could potentially translate animal vocalizations to human language. And the Collar Doolittle Prize offers a $10 million investment or $500,000 in cash to researchers who create technology that passes the Turing test for animals. So all of that to say, maybe we'll be able to know why my dog cries so much soon.
Okay, but the worst point of that is I don't really want to know that my dog doesn't really like me.
Right.
What was that, honey? Ruff. Oh, I'm a jerk? What? Feed me, idiot? What?
Oh gosh, right. Well, who knows? We'll see. I don't think we're going to turn into Dr. Doolittles or anything like that anytime soon. But if we could at least get a little idea of what's maybe ailing our pets, that might be.
If I could talk to the animals,
right?
Their languages. Yeah.
Have you heard about the Lego Smart Brick?
I have not. I've heard of Legos. Stepped on a few. Uh-oh. I think Greg is frozen in time once again. You know, you gotta love the internet, right? I mean, we communicate with one another every week. We do the same thing over and over again, but it's never without its difficulties. Greg is frozen now. I had issues earlier. Anyway, why is it that we pay, I don't know, what do we pay, $60 for internet and it doesn't work? It drives me nuts. There's a theory out there that says, oh, he may be coming back.
Come on back. There we go.
I was just rambling on about the internet and how the theory is that the internet for the first 2 weeks is good. Second 2 weeks, they're limiting. It's something worth thinking about. If we go back and you're not going to do this, but I'm just saying, go back to different shows and find out when we had the most trouble with it. Is it after the 15th of the month?
Right. That's an interesting.
And what I did hear, now this is absolute fact. It came from somebody who worked for either AT&T or whatever. One of the internet, dealing with internet. He said, if you do not use a certain amount in that first 15 days, then they will limit you to that amount for the remainder. That's why it be very, and so that they can use it for higher priorities. Okay. You pay a certain amount.
Yeah.
For your phone, for your internet, for your TV. All told, I pay well over $200 a month because my TV is $115. My internet is, I want to say it's like $55. My phone is $58. So right there, we're upwards of $210, $212, something like that.
Yeah.
We should never have an issue. And I hate to be that guy that always goes back to, we can put a man on the moon, but I remember on that day in 1969, it was July, was July 21st or something like that, 1969. I am literally watching the president on the phone, President Nixon, talking with John Glenn on the phone. And I'm looking at my dad going, is he really on the moon? My dad said, well, we think he is, but one day we'll find out it's a studio in Los Angeles, California.
Dad
but
knew.
I mean,
Dad
yeah, he knew. No, but I'm just saying, and there was a delay. I noticed there was a 5 to 7 second delay. Okay, fine. He's on the moon. That's 250,000 miles away. But I thought, and this is why everybody uses that analogy. You can put a man on the moon, but you can't have a conversation with your neighbor on a cell phone without it being interrupted. So that's my little spiel about the internet and all of that. It's just a crock,
Well, it's debuting in March. It's the Lego Smart Play system and includes a smart brick. And in the smart brick is a tiny little computer chip known as a smart brick. It's debuting in March. And apparently when it gets close to other Legos, for example, if this little guy here is holding a lightsaber and the smart brick gets close to it, it'll start making lightsaber noises.
Oh, wow.
Stuff like that. It reacts to every move. Cool tech that reacts to twists and taps. Smart tags, smart minifigures. This is coming in March, and a whole system of what they're doing. Obviously, Star Wars stuff is going to be the easy one to imagine, but they're doing it with other stuff too. So
that's the one I'm going to step on. Oh, I'm sorry, kids.
And then
we don't have any more. We don't have any more lightsabers, but I got a cool Band-Aid on the bottom of my foot.
The Smart Play Throne Room Dual and A-Wing, $159.99. I think that's for the whole set, but it includes the smart brick that makes the sound. So anyway, that's the latest from Lego, and just when you think it can't get any better. I know last night I was watching one of those Lego Wars, the TV show where they make these incredible Lego structures and compete against each other. Have you seen the TV show, the Lego TV show?
I know it's on. I don't watch it. I'm not a fan.
I haven't watched very much, but for some reason it came on last night, and after another show I was watching, I was like, oh, I'll watch this for a little bit. That's kind of interesting. What are they going to do with these smart bricks now? That'll be the new twist the next season.
So let me, if I may, revisit what I was just talking about, my little ramble. I have DirecTV Stream. I love my DirecTV Stream. I rarely have any issues with it. Very seldom. There's never any buffering. I mean, every once in a while, but it's very rare. Like maybe once every 2 weeks or something for 30 seconds. Okay, fine, I can live with that. Because it is technology, and technology is it can be somewhat difficult, somewhat fickle. Anyway, so I love my DirecTV Stream. It's not DirecTV's fault. It's not Dish Network's fault. It's not cable's fault. It's the system. It's the way we are now. It's what word am I looking for? It's the sign of the times.
Sign of the times, yeah.
So the age we live in. Okay, so, but I pay $115 a month for DirecTV Stream. The reason I did that is because I had Sling. I loved Sling. But Sling made you go out of Sling to change the channel and then come back in, and it was a pain in the butt. So
right.
Changing channels was a bit of a pain. Maybe they've corrected it by now. I've had Dish Network, not Dish. I've had DirecTV for 2 years now, almost 2. April will be 2 years. I may go back to Sling because I got Marquee Network. Sling didn't carry Marquee Network. Direct Stream did. So I switched, and I'm kind of glad I did, except the Cubs disappointed me. I'm not getting Marquee Network this year.
No.
Because quite frankly, the only thing I watch on Marquee anyway is Cub games, and I watched probably 30 of them last year. 30 out of 162. It's not very good. So I don't need to spend the extra money. I may keep Direct Stream, but I'll definitely get rid of Marquee, and I'll probably scale down my package.
I used to go somewhere for haircuts that always had the Marquee channel on, no matter what was on, and it was
probably Sport Clips.
Yeah, I don't go there anymore, but I don't know. Their program.
Neither do I.
Hey.
You still have some hair up there. I don't.
I grew it. I grew it out at COVID. When COVID hit, I decided to let my hair grow back after shaving it for about 16 years. And
yeah, right. I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I'm all right with
that. Yeah.
Well, again, thanks to our guests today, Miss Annette from the Children's Theater Project, Youth Theater Project, and Elliot and Nick from Rockford Barbell. Next week, we're going to talk with Gabrielle Foreman. She's the founder of Secondary Success and Beyond. She's got some great stuff going. She's had some great success with Secondary Success and Beyond and some big announcements over the last few months. So we'll talk to her about that. And we're also scheduled to, we had to reschedule Nancy Clark from the Rockford She-Vet chapter. She was supposed to be on with us on the day before, or the right at the end of the year last year, and had an emergency come up and wasn't able to join us. So Gabrielle and Nancy next week on the show. All right. So I know we can't leave without talking a little bit about the one, the only, the best team ever that didn't win.
That Green Bay.
Our Green Bay Packers, which they were favored to win the game against the Bears on paper. and for 3/4 they won. But once again, those cardiac kids, the Chicago Bears, did in the fourth quarter what they've been doing all season long, and they.
Okay, but let me tell you why, and I'll preface this by saying, with all due respect to my Bear fan friends, I even what I was telling the panel, the group that we had when you were off on Frozen Land, I played Bear Down Chicago Bear. You know that because you were there on Wednesday night.
I smiled
as
when
a show of support.
Good for you.
Just to say, you know what, guys, good luck. I'm glad for you guys. I got a friend. I got several friends who right now are going through cancer, and they're Bear fans. And you know what? If the Bears won the Super Bowl, it would be great for them. I don't really want to see it, but you know what? If it helps him smile and all of that, then you know what? That's good. It's okay.
One of my mindsets over the years has been when my team loses, especially in the playoffs, it makes me feel a little bit better when the team they lost to wins the whole thing. Because then my team can say, we only lost because we lost to the best team of the year that year.
Okay. Okay. So having said that, this is what I'm going to say. We give the Bears a little too much credit. Here's who gets the credit. Ben Johnson. He's a great coach. He keeps them motivated. Mm-hmm. He keeps them up for the game. He says, you will play 60 minutes or you won't be on this team. I don't know if he actually said that, but this is exactly what the Bears.
That's the attitude you get from him, yeah.
Dennis Allen is a really quality defensive coordinator. They don't have a very good defense. He squeezes every bit of blood out of that turnip or out of that cheese wheel or whatever.
Well,
however you want to.
There's two teams like that this year, the Bears and the 49ers.
Oh,
49ers
yeah.
are decimated with injuries, and yet they continue to find ways to win.
They do. Oh, and if they make it to the NFC Championship game, which would actually be next week. Ooh, I got to get my pool going, don't I?
If the Niners beat the Seahawks, it'll be in Chicago if Chicago wins.
Fred Warner comes back, though, possibly. He started practicing last weekend. So you never know. We'll see. All right. So what I was going to say is we're giving the Bears a lot of credit. They won that Cincinnati game, and they had no business winning it. They won the New York Giants game because Jackson Dart goes down and Russell Wilson comes up and just vomits on the 50-yard line.
Bad again. Yeah, so bad.
There's no way they should have won those. They lost. They won both of the Bear games that they should not have won. And you ask any Bear fan, and they'll tell you, the Bears really should have been 10-7 this year. They won a couple of games they had no business winning. Having said that, I'm not taking anything away from them. They do everything right. They're well coached. They're very disciplined. They are a good football team. And next year, I would expect them to be in the position they're in right now. They're way early. They're peaking way early. Ben Johnson's done a phenomenal job with a team that is at best good. They're not a great team. They're a good team. You go down 21-3, you should be tucking your tail between your legs and walking in the other direction. You should be. But Ben Johnson wouldn't let that happen. Caleb Williams wouldn't let that happen because Caleb Williams is an absolute bona fide superstar. But I'll tell you what Caleb Williams' issue is. He overthrows everybody. We're thinking about sending him over to Iran so he can overthrow them. He's not accurate, but then he's dead on when he needs to be.
It's crazy.
So he's such an enigma. That's the problem with Caleb Williams, and he's only going to get better. You hear that, Packer fans? He's only going to get better. That team's going to be around for the next 5 to 7 years, but then they're going to have to start paying guys. And that's always the downfall for a lot of teams, which is one reason why Green Bay always seems to be in the thick of things. One reason why Pittsburgh always seems to be in the thick of things. They'll get rid of guys that have been around for a while, although Pittsburgh's a fairly old team now. But they've done well with their salary cap. But teams like Green Bay, they'll get rid of guys before that second contract comes up, and then they'll find a new rookie. They do a very good job of drafting and teaching. And this is why the Packers, but mediocrity doesn't win Super Bowls.
No,
it doesn't. No. The 49ers are going to face this when they have already paid Brock Purdy. They've paid a lot of guys, but they're getting old. They're getting old. So their window is closing. Bears window will close in 3 to 5 years if they're not careful. If they are careful, maybe they go 7 years. And that's, of course, assuming Caleb Williams doesn't get injured. I don't wish that on him. I do not wish that on him.
The league is shifting in a big way. You've got a lot of young quarterbacks coming into their own. And what do we got now? 7 or 8 teams changing head coaches already?
Yeah, well, here's who you have left in the playoffs. You have Sam Darnold. He was on the scrap heap for 5 years. He was drafted by the Jets. He was nothing.
A good quarterback in bad organizations.
Then he went to Carolina. He was nothing. He finally ends up in Minnesota. And I'm thinking Minnesota's scratching their head going, whose idea was it to let him go? You know, because Seattle's like, thank you. Thank you, Minnesota.
If they'd have kept him one more year, they'd have been in the mix.
So Sam Darnold, you've got Caleb Williams in his second year. You got Bo Nix in his second year. You got Drake May in his second year. You got Brock Purdy, who was Mr. Irrelevant. That means he was pick number 278, 277, the last pick in the draft, Mr. Irrelevant, which I don't put any stock in that because Kurt Warner was never drafted, and he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. There's a lot of guys that were never drafted that went on to become superstars. So that's whatever. And who else do you have? You've got C.J. Stroud, who's only in his third or fourth season. You know, and then there's one other one. Who else am I missing? Matthew Stafford. He's the old man of it all.
Yeah.
He's already won a Super Bowl, but he's the old man, and he's doing it with some younger talent.
He's having an MVP year, and it's like he was considering retirement. You know, it's like,
I know.
What is he going to do if he wins MVP? If he wins a Super Bowl, does he ride off into the sunset, or does the head coach Sean McVay talk him into staying one more year and run it back?
Here's what I think happens. The Rams have 2 number ones this year. For however, I don't even know however that worked out, but they got 2 number ones. You trade your second number one or your first one number one. I don't know how you do it. You trade one of those and maybe throw in a second to get a higher pick, and you grab your next quarterback. That's the way and then that guy, whoever he is going to sit behind Matthew Stafford and learn for a year.
Yeah.
And then move right in seamlessly.
Stafford seems like the kind of guy who might be cool with that idea.
I think Stafford would. He will have won. I'm assuming they will win the Super Bowl this year. I don't think they will, but I'm assuming if they do, well, they get as good a shot as anybody. You got to get past Chicago tomorrow, and that's not going to be an easy task. Although Chicago's defense has been exposed. You look at that 49ers game. Even the Bengals game that they won 47-42. That last play of the game, Colston Loveland over the middle, he gets it at the 45, breaks 2 tackles and runs it in for a touchdown. Bears win. That was crazy. I'm watching that going, what? What just happened here? So, anyway. As far as you and I have talked about Matt LaFleur. I want him gone, and I'll tell you why real quick. Like I've said this 100 times, so I'll say it for the 101st time, and then I'll be done. When you come out, and it's I haven't actually said it here. When you come out in the second half and you're up 21-3, and you are absolutely beating the Chicago Bears, and I look at my son just before they kick it off, and I said, dude, I'll tell you what's going to happen. They're going to run Jacobs up the middle. He's going to get stonewalled. Then they're going to run Jacobs again. He's going to get stonewalled. Then they're going to be forced into a 3rd and 8, and he's going to throw an incompletion because they're going to blitz him. That is exactly what
they did. Yeah.
The next, and you know how I know this was a bad set of play calling? Because they stacked the box. You go back and look at it. There was something unusual. I'm looking at it going, what are they doing? It looks like a 3rd down, 3rd and 2 situation where they're stacking the box here. They're stacking the left. And that's exactly what they did. They knew what was going on. They knew that they were going to run Josh Jacobs up the middle, right into the heart of the defense. He got 1 yard. The second play, he got 1 yard, maybe even lost a yard. Now it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Gee. Football 101 says you're going to pass on 3rd and 9. Unless you're really good at play action and you can kind of not play action because then that means you're going to pass. But unless you're really good at disguising something and then you have Jaden Reed come around and grab the ball and go. That's a worthwhile play because they're not expecting it. Yeah. But they knew we were going to pass. They brought the house and it was an incompletion. 3 and out. the next drive after the Bears came back down and scored a field goal. It does two things. Number one, you don't score, they do, but it also keeps your defense on the field. The entire third quarter,
And
the
they wore
defense was on the field for most of that third quarter. That's how the Bears scored 25 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Because the Packers were tired. Matt LaFleur, I don't know how he can't figure out when you have a team down, you go for the knockout punch. You know what I would have loved to have seen? And I realize this is after the fact because we all have 20/20 hindsight. But what I realize is check this play out. You come out, you see that the thing is stacked. You know they're going to do that because every single team does that in the second half. This is why the Packers can't seem to get their footing in the second half. Here's what you do. You give the ball to Josh Jacobs. He stops. He turns around and flips it back to you. And you got Matthew Golden going down one side. You got Christian Watson going down the other side. No one's paying attention to him. One of them goes short. One of them goes long. And you pick the one that you're going to complete it to. And there you go. And if you're lucky, you're going to get a 30-yarder. But the Bears are going to be back on their heels going, oh, God, we didn't see that coming. We thought for sure they were going to run the ball. And then Jacobs gets the ball, turns around, flips it. I'm telling you, because you go back to the Denver game when all they had to do was complete that pass, the one that injured Christian Watson and Patrick Surtain jumps in and grabs it. We complete that pass, even if it's just a completed pass, we're going to score in that drive. And it was 23-14. Even if we get a field goal, it's 26-14. And we scored out of the half. But instead, it was an interception. Yeah. Denver comes back and beats us and beat the pants off us, 34-26. They really took it to us in that fourth quarter. Anyway, these are all coaching issues. And the other thing too, Keyshawn Nixon, I'm ready to say bye-bye Keyshawn Nixon. I'm ready to say bye-bye Rashawn Gary because he's lazy. He doesn't run after the ball. You can see it on video. Keyshawn Nixon jumps over the top of the pile for a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
This is coaching.
Yeah.
Rich Bisaccia needs to go because every loss we've had, every playoff loss we've had in the last 3 or 4 years is on Rich Bisaccia. The missed field goals. Now, he's not kicking them, but we should have kept Lucas Havrisik and gotten rid of Brandon McManus. It's like he got the yips. He missed 2 field goals and an extra point. What did we lose by? 4 points?
He kicks the Green Bay Packers record distance field goal and they let him go.
Yeah, he did. 61 yards. All-time longest. I mean, we've had Jan Stenerud, we've had Chester Markle, Ryan Longwell, Chris Jackie, Mason Crosby. Those are 5 guys that I think Stenerud's in the Hall of Fame, but some of the others, he is. One of only a handful of kickers that is in the Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure he is. I know he is. But anyway, we've had some really good kickers in Green Bay. Mason Crosby, I think should make the Hall of Fame. I think he should.
Probably.
But if we'd have kept Lucas Havrisik, we might be talking about the Packers today in Los Angeles or in Seattle. It'd be in Seattle.
What I often consider to be the best weekend of NFL football is this weekend because these divisional round games are typically the 8 best teams of the NFL season. This is it. So first game is Bills Broncos today. They're in Denver. The Broncos kind of a surprising number 1 seed in the AFC, but they also had the weakest schedule in the AFC, pretty much. So I think Bills beat Broncos today, even though the Bills
I agree.
This hopefully is the Bills' year, I guess, is what I'm saying. And then tonight, 49ers at the Seahawks. This is kind of like this is Bears Packers, obviously not with as long of a rivalry, but it's in conference rivalry, right? So they've seen each other twice already this year. Seahawks have been dominant on defense. I don't think the Niners score enough points to beat the Seahawks, but it's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
I still think the Seahawks pull it off, though.
Yeah.
So tomorrow afternoon, Texans at the Patriots. Again, similar to the Broncos, the Patriots had a weak schedule this year. Got a good record out of it. Get to host this game. And the Texans also have like the best defense in the NFL. So can the Patriots score enough to win? I don't think so. I think the Texans pull it off.
I kind of think they do too, but I think it's going to be an extremely close game. Although I will say this, Mike Vrabel is a far better coach than DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans is okay. He's pretty good. They didn't exactly have a worthwhile opponent. I mean, Pittsburgh, they hobbled in on one leg. Not that they were injured. They just weren't that good. They had some injuries. Everybody has injuries. But I just think that Drake May is really, really good. I think it's going to be, I do think it's going to be Denver and New England. I know I said I think the Bills can win, and I hope the Bills win. But in my heart of hearts, I do kind of think that Denver's going to win, and I think Houston's or New England's going to win.
If you're picking coaches, it's Denver and New England.
Absolutely, that's kind of where I'm going with that.
But if you're picking players, I'm picking Bills and Texans.
I'm hoping for Bills and Texans.
I think
I am, or at least Bills in New England.
Yeah,
I'll say Bills, New England, and that game would be played in New England, of course.
That would be pretty epic. And then, of course, it gets us to tomorrow night, Rams at Bears, and again, should be an epic game. The Rams will be leading when the fourth quarter starts. Will the Bears be able to pull it off again and come back?
You can only bank on that so long. That whole, you can really only bank on it for so long. And I just think the end of the road is coming. And I'm not necessarily rooting for that. Well, I kind of am. I don't want the Bears to win, obviously. But I think the end is coming because they've done it. I don't want to say with smoke and mirrors, but kind of.
But
that Cincinnati game.
They've had their got the
gift
miracles
of a lifetime handed to them. The Giants game, Jackson Dart goes down, he's kicking their butt. They're up 24-14, I think, or something like that. The Packer game, both of them, they had no business winning those games. And again, I'm not taking anything away from the Bears. I'm just simply saying they had no business, and they'll tell you that. Because I've had enough conversations with Bear fans. And then there were 3 or 4 other games that just like, really? Seriously? How did that happen?
Well, my prediction for the Rams-Bears game tomorrow is this. Somewhere around the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter, Stafford hits Devontae Adams for a touchdown, and that's the dagger. They put him away.
Then I'm going to send
Cobb.
Yeah, and then I'm going to send Matt LaFleur a text and say, "Hey, Matt, did you see that?" Actually, I don't have his number. Do you have his number? Can you send it to me?
He's got to be on social media, right? We'll just hit it there.
Yeah, we'll just post it. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting.
Great weekend of football. One more thing to announce this week, and that would be this. We are 61 days, 8 hours, and 37 minutes away from the next masked karaoke trivia contest. It's coming up March 19th. And 2 months away from the 19th of January here. So we're today's the 17th. I said that's right. So we're excited to bring back the Masked Karaoke Trivia Contest for a 4th time. And this time, a special thank you to our grand prize sponsor, Medicare 411, who has upped the ante to $7,000. The winning team's not-for-profit will be getting a $7,000 check from Medicare 411. And we're back at Tabala Event Center again this time. We're looking forward to being back there with a new crew of celebrity judges. Let's at least announce one of our celebrity judges today.
Okay.
And that would be the lead singer of the Grammy Award-winning band, That Girl. Renee Serrano is going to be our chief judge this time for the Masked Karaoke Trivia Contest karaoke judging portion of the contest. Renee is so excited to be a part of this event. And in addition to that, she recently beat cancer. And we're celebrating her
awesome.
And coming through all the chemo and stuff that she did to defeat cancer. So Renee's been a friend for many, many years, and I'm looking forward to having her as our chief judge for March 19th, Masked Karaoke Trivia Contest. Starting on Tuesday, you can register your team. We'll have room for 12 teams and only 12 teams. So once 12 teams have signed up and paid the entry fee, it's full. There's no more room. So entry fee is $400. You basically need 3 things to get into the Mass Karaoke Trivia Contest. One is the $400 entry fee.
Mm-hmm.
The second is the not-for-profit that you're playing for. You have to choose one, and it has to be a legit local not-for-profit, and then a business sponsor, someone that's either covering the cost of your entry fee or just partnering with you on the team, whatever it is. A business sponsor, a not-for-profit, and the entry fee. That's what you need. You get to have up to 8 people on your team. And we're not forcing anybody on the team to sing, but at least one of you on the team will need to sing a karaoke during the contest. So for the first 3 times we've done this contest, we've kind of encouraged people, find the 7 best trivia people you can find, and at least one person who loves singing and can sing at least one song good.
There you go. I have a friend of mine and her husband. They are going to be probably at the January one. I'm not going to give you names or anything because I don't know for sure. And they were looking for.
Oh, you're talking about the NAMI trivia?
No. For ours.
Oh,
but I told them, I said, you have to hook up with a non-for-profit. So,
yes,
I'm not sure exactly how it'll all work, but they've got a non-for-profit in mind that they can work together with.
Okay. Well, looking forward to our next event again, March 19th at Tabala, 7 p.m. Doors open at 6, and it's going to be another fun time of community awareness.
Wait a minute. Let me back that up. I think it is for the NAMI trivia. Now that I think about it, I'm sorry.
Okay. Because NAMI's doing trivia events the last Thursday of the month.
That's right. I'm getting the 2 confused. I'm crossing my yeah. She probably just had a heart attack. No, it's not that. Anyway.
By the way, I'm already aware of one team that will be playing for NAMI at our event.
Oh, good.
Just so you're aware, there will be a
team
that
is awesome
representing NAMI at the event. So I'm already aware of that. And good. I'm glad you did bring up the NAMI trivia stuff because In Crowd 815 has a team playing in the February.
Yeah.
The February event. So as of today, 3 of our 6 members are spoken for. We still need 3 more players to join us February 26th at Park Lanes to play what's it called? Chase Away the Winter Blues.
No. That's January. Chase Away the Winter Blues. February, we haven't really. I mean, I have to run this through Danielle, of course, but I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do, what I'm thinking about is celebrating all of the important days in February. Groundhog Day, Valentine's Day, not Martin Luther King, Black History Month, the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And there's a few others in February.
Okay.
Mardi Gras.
It's going to be a fun time, Park Lane.
Yeah, it will be. So all of my final questions will have to do with one of those days. I'll go in succession. So the first question will have something to do with Groundhog Day. Second question will probably have something to do with what's second in February?
Valentine's Day?
Oh, no. Super Bowl or Daytona 500. I could do one of each. I could do both. I'll definitely do Super Bowl. But if I need an extra one, I'll throw in Daytona 500.
All right. So. I think that's it. Again, the CTP, YTP shows that are coming up in April this year, Matilda Jr. and Almost Maine. They look really good. They'll be at the Nordloff. Almost Maine, April 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Or I'm sorry, April 10th and 11th. There we go. They're doing tech at that time. Shows are April 10th and 11th at the Nordloff for Almost Maine. And then Matilda, the musical, April 24th and 25th. Check out that.
Yep.
And then Rockford Barbell's got all their cool stuff going on. RockfordBarbell.org. It was fun to learn about those guys and what they're doing. I'm so happy for the different opportunities that our youth have here in Rockford, including that getting involved with Rockford Barbell. The next week, Gabrielle Foreman, founder of Secondary Success and Beyond, and Nancy Clark, the president of the Rockford She Vet chapter. And I think that's going to do it, buddy.
I guess so.
Remember, friends, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone today and every day this week. We'll meet you back here next week for another In Crowd 815 podcast. Later, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.
815 in crowd. 815 in crowd. 815 in crowd. 815. 815.